Welcome to my August reading wrap up. We're going to be talking about a lot of books today and it's going to be fun, it's going to be great. This video is already long, so I'm going to hop to it. So I'll see you for the first book. Hi, and this is the first book that I read for my August wrap up. I just finished Alone with You in the Ether by Ollie Blake. I don't even have words to explain how amazing this story was. It was so beautiful, so well done. This story is about our two main characters, Reagan and Aldo. They meet each other at this art exhibit that Reagan works at, and it just kind of goes off from there, and they meet and they become friends. The depiction of the falling in love and really getting to understand somebody is just so well done. I will say there are a lot of trigger warnings, I feel like, in this. Mental health in general for the story was very strong. Both of the main characters have mental health struggles. It really is just a telling of how that affects your relationships with people and with significant others and just in general. I will say, like, maybe this is not your average like romance story. It's not like, oh, it's sunshine, rainbows, butterflies, like, it's so cute at the end, it's nice and fluffy. Like, no, it really talks about the real shit that happens in relationships. Not all relationships are perfect. Everyone goes through stuff, especially how stuff that affects you can affect your relationship. And it was just so interesting and it was so good. It was really realistic and I really resonated with a lot of things because I was like, yeah, this is so real and so good, and it was just, I loved it so much. And even the parts where they're like falling deeply in love was just so good. It was so good, and I really enjoyed this. I gave it 5 stars. Yeah, and that's it. So let's go on to my next book. Hey, so I just finished, well, okay, I didn't just finish this, but I forgot to log this, and I'm gonna go ahead and log it. But I read Spoiler Alert by Olivia Dade, or Dad. It's not Dad, it's Dade. It's definitely Dade. So this is a story about this guy named Marcus, and he is a actor for this really popular series. It's kind of like Game of Thrones inspired kind of show, so like this really big show. And he is like a big fanboy of the show, but he doesn't like let anybody see it. He doesn't want anyone to know about it. But he also writes fan fiction for his character and for the show. And so he meets April through this fan fiction writing. I don't think it's like Wattpad. I don't know what it's like, through some fan fiction medium that they both write fan fiction for this show that they both really like. That's really it, honestly. And they go on a date because she posts a picture of herself in like her outfit, like a cosplay outfit that she did, and he was defending her from like really shitty people. And yeah, and they go on a date and they start to like each other, and it's like, cool. Okay, so I have a couple of things. So one, I actually like the writing. I thought the writing was pretty cute, pretty good. This low-key kind of reminded me of the same thing of Funny You Should Ask, but better, if that makes sense. I just don't think I love the whole celebrity pipeline, like, of dating a celebrity, because I don't know, maybe I know it's a book and I know it's supposed to be like fan fiction-esque, but I honestly think Wattpad ruined like the celebrity pipeline of getting like famous with or dating a celebrity and being with your favorite celebrity, and I think that's low-key ruined it for me, even though these are not real people or whatever. Not that I don't enjoy fan fiction. I used to that's a whole other video I should do, reading old Wattpad fan fiction I used to read in middle school. That would be a trip. It's just, I don't know, I feel like whenever you have a romance between a celebrity and a regular person, it's very Wattpad-esque to me. And this kind of felt the same way. There was just something about this also that I didn't love. Like, there wasn't like nothing necessarily wrong. Like, I thought the banter was good. I thought the writing was good. Another thing I didn't love was their family arcs that they had together and the way that it gets solved. Like, hers felt complete, I guess, with her problems with her family, while his to me didn't feel resolved. It felt weird. It felt like his was just kind of getting brushed under and it didn't really matter, although it does. I did rate this a 3 stars. It was a very mid story to me. I would still pick it up and read it. Let's see what else I read in the month of August. I don't know if I get that right, but let's hope. I have finished another book. I have finished The Charm Offensive by Alison Cochrane. Can I say, I haven't heard anything about this book. I watched a YouTuber. She's one of my favorite book talkers, I can't look. I don't know. I think it's Clockwork Reader. That's her, like, thing. Her name's Hannah, but I really love her videos. She's one of my favorite booktubers, and she read this in a Reading 5 romance books video thing. I'll link it. It's really good. And she read, like, books that she knows she'll like, and this was one of the books, and I was like, that sounds really good, and she really loved it, and I was like, I want to read it too. And I read it, and I just gotta tell you all my thoughts because I loved this book so much. I'm tired of holding it up, so I'm gonna just sit this down. I absolutely loved this book. It was so cute, so good. Honestly, one of my favorite romance books I've ever read, being so serious. So this is a story about these 2 characters named Charlie and Dev, and they're on a reality TV show kind of like The Bachelor, and Charlie is the new bachelor for this season, and Dev is a productions assistant, so he helps working on the show. Dev becomes his new handler for the show because Charlie is named like difficult to handle, and Dev is like one of the best handlers on the set, so he becomes Charlie's handler. And just throughout the whole book you learn about Charlie and Dev and their relationship together, and the story is just so good. Charlie is the most amazing character I have ever read, ever. Even Dev is such a good, such an interesting character to read about. Charlie is like the biggest cinnamon roll I ever, like, I just want to hug him, and even though he probably wouldn't want me to touch him, but I just want, or maybe not hug him, just like look at him meaningfully and be like, you got this, bro, like that kind of thing. Just the character development in this was so good. So good. Most romances don't go super heavily into characters' problems or their relationship problems, difficulties. They always have like problems in the relationship. They're like miscommunications and stuff. But I feel like their problems and their relationship was so like realistic, because most people when they have a relationship, they are thinking about themselves a lot and being like, am I good enough? Am I going to be doing this? Like, I don't know if I can handle this. Like, they're very like, I need to think about me before even though I do love you, I need to think about myself and see if this is what I need. Like, this is what I need for myself. That this is good for both of us. God, these were, I want to read about these characters like every day. Like, I love this book so much. I gave it 5 stars. I'm being so serious. Go read this. Honestly, one of my favorite romances I've ever read. That's all I have to say for right now, and I'll see you guys whenever I get to my next book. Actually, I finished 2 books, but I forgot to talk about this one. I don't know why I forgot to talk about this. I think I was just letting it marinate and process. And I finished I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jeanette McCurdy. This book has been blowing up recently, as it should. It's a really great memoir. If you don't know who Jeanette McCurdy is, she used to be on a very popular Nickelodeon show called iCarly, which I literally grew up watching. My dad would watch iCarly. I wouldn't even be in the room and he would watch iCarly with me. So like, we were iCarly stans in this house. To really read this memoir about iCarly and just Jeanette growing up, really eye-opening, and I think this is a great conversation starter on child actors, especially in even going to the extent of being here on YouTube, like family channels with having their kids on YouTube, on the internet. Like, should there be laws protecting these kids from the internet? It just really shows how our systems, even if we have enacted these changes, still sometimes fail. Everything. She talks about so much in this story. It's a lot to unpack. It's so amazing and it's so good. She obviously talks about how her mom was a narcissistic abuser in her life while growing up, would regularly mentally and physically and sexually abuse her, to the extent where she basically she did everything for her mom. It's just such a great book. I really recommend reading if you are, even if you didn't watch iCarly growing up or Sam and Cat or whatever, I would just would recommend reading it because the way she writes is so good. It's so, like, I don't even know how to explain it. Like, it's like the love and the hatred of having her mom die and how she was happy but also sad but also confused, and I just can't imagine the emotions that she went through at that time and still probably goes through. I could not imagine. I think I would have a mental breakdown every day. I totally recommend it. I gave it 5 stars. It is just so good. Chef's kiss. Chef's kiss. It's so good. Probably one of the best memoirs I've ever read. And then the book that I finished last night was Royally Rearranged by Emma St. Clair. I think I saw Emma St. Clair post a TikTok on this, and that's how I started reading this, because I've never heard anything besides on TikTok. This is a Kindle Unlimited book too, so if you have a Kindle and you have Kindle Unlimited, there you go. This is about a girl named Serafina, and she is the princess of her kingdom. I don't remember what it's called. She's a princess. She's supposed to be in an arranged marriage with her best friend, Callum, Prince Callum of the other kingdom that he's part of. Honestly, she doesn't really mind. She's like, all right, sick, this is great. She secretly has been in love with him since they were childhood friends, and they're best friends now. And she was like, you know what, I'm fine with this arranged marriage. Like, this is good for me. Like, I'm gonna bag my prince, literally and figuratively, because I love him since we were children, and I love him now, so this is great for me. And so one day she goes and she surprises him, and she finds out that he actually has a girlfriend, and she is like super heartbroken. She's like, wait, why do you have a girlfriend? What's going on? I thought we were getting arranged marriage. Turns out he doesn't know that they're supposed to be an arranged marriage, and he is very like, I'm not going to get into arranged marriage. I don't want to be married to you. So, to kind of help realize that she's very, like, wanted, and this is a very typical plot, I guess. Like, she wants to make him feel jealous. One of her nemesis, sort of, one of her rivals, I guess, decides to fake date her to make Callum jealous and to think that she is more desirable. And his name's Rafe. This is a closed door romance. There is no spice in this. But yeah, I really liked that about this. I haven't read a closed door romance in a long time, so I actually really enjoyed that part. Let me start from the beginning a little bit, because this story is confusing. Not confusing in the sense that I don't understand what's going on, but confusing if I like it or if I don't like it. I think it's because of one character that really just like, I don't know. He like really like sways my decision. Anyways, it's like at the beginning of the novel that they have a kid and they're having another kid and they're married and all this stuff, and they're telling the story of how they got together. So we already know. I mean, we already knew they were gonna get together at the end. But also I was like, well, why are we having this flash forward and then we're gonna flash back kind of thing? Also, there's dual perspectives in this, but we never really get to see the other, like the guy's perspective. It's in the perspective of Serafina and Rafe, but we barely get to have Rafe's point of views. I just want to count them, because how many, we really do not get to see his point of views. I've counted it all out. Out of 36 chapters, 36, technically 37 chapters, I guess, because there's like a little thing. After 37 chapters, we only get 10 chapters in Rafe's point of view. Huh? I don't really understand why there is point of views in Serafina's point of view at all. Like, I don't understand why we're in her head almost the whole time, because technically at the beginning of the story, Rafe is telling the story to his daughter. So in my head, I was expecting it to be more like, kind of like The Princess Bride, I guess, where like the grandpa's telling the kid the story, and like it's more like a third person narrative over first person narrative, because being in different point of views, and then there's flashbacks all of a sudden. It's just really confusing. And plus, the only character that I really liked and wanted to read more was Rafe. Rafe was such an interesting character, and he was so cute, and I was just like, why can't we read more of his perspective? He is so much more interesting to me than Serafina or Callum. Like, I don't care about them. I'm done rambling. I did think this was, it was cute. It was something to kind of get me out of a reading slump because it was not that hard to read. Yeah, I gave it 3 stars. The story is cute, but the writing and the setup is so bad that it's like, it's not bad writing, but it's not good. Yep, that's it. We'll see if I get to read anything else, and I'll see you in the next book. Hello. Hi, excuse my appearance. I'm about to go do something, so I have to push my hair back. Anyways, I just finished another book, and I read The Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score. It is about this girl named Naomi, and her twin sister calls her. Her twin sister's like the bad twin, and she had gotten into trouble and asked Naomi to come up to wherever she, I think it's Virginia, some Knoxmount, Virginia. I think they're in Virginia. To meet up with her sister. Her sister asked her to meet her at this coffee shop, which her twin sister is banned from, and everyone's giving her like the stink eye, and she's like, what is going on? Like, she's just so confused why everyone's just giving her really nasty looks, and in comes this guy who is screaming and yelling at her and telling her to get the heck out, and she is not having it. She's like, I've never met you. That is my twin sister. You're crazy. And we find out that his name is Knox, and he will be our love interest. How fun, right? It kind of gets a little crazy twist. She finds out that her twin sister has a daughter, and she leaves the daughter with her and like abandons her. So Naomi decides to take it up upon herself to take care of her twin's daughter and gets to know her niece. It tells about her and Knox's relationship and how that progresses and everything, and it's just really good. I liked it. I like it personally. I thought it was good. The only problem that I guess I had was more towards the end of the story. At the end of the story, there's something that happens and where they're not talking really. All of a sudden it gets resolved in like 2 seconds because the guy finally realizes that he actually wants her and all this stuff. And I felt like that part, like there were so many issues and so many problems that he had that didn't ever get discussed, and she just went along like, oh yeah, let's be together forever now, like, and then like it just all of a sudden got resolved. That was the only part I didn't like. I probably would have given it 5 stars if it wasn't for that third act conflict, I guess, but I gave it 4 stars. I liked it. I thought it was good. Yeah. Okay, sorry if you can't see me very well. I wanted to film because I'm angry. It is 1 in the morning. It's 1:07 in the morning. I just finished Twisted Love by Anna Huang. It's part of the Twisted series. Let me just say, this book was about Ava and Alex. It's like a best friend's brother relationship trope or whatever. And honestly, I really like best friend brother. Like brother's best friend. That's what I meant to say. I really love the brother's best friend trope. Like, I like it. It's like kind of fun. Like, you have older brother and his really hot best friend, like, ooh, steamy. Like, I actually really love that trope. It's kind of fun. I, however, hated this book. I hated this book so much. I don't trust any of y'all TikTok girlies anymore because this is the worst book I have ever read that TikTok has recommended me to read. It was painful to get through. Like, I almost DNF'd it, like, in the middle of it, because I was like, sorry, I'm trying to, like, fix the camera. I was gonna DNF it, and I was like, I can't do this. Like, it's so bad. One, the writing is so bad. Like, it is Wattpad writing at its best. At its best is Wattpad writing. And don't get me wrong, Wattpad is not bad writing. I don't want to say that off like as like a stereotype that Wattpad writing is bad. This is below Wattpad writing. Like, it is terrible writing at best. 2, our main love interest, Alex, is insufferable. Like, he is so terrible. Like, obviously she gives like a content warning at the beginning that he's gonna be a morally gray character. Like, I'm fine with having a morally gray character, but only when they can redeem themselves at the end of the story. He didn't redeem shit. He doesn't redeem shit. And at the end, he, like, is low-key stalking her, like, and is basically saying that she doesn't have a choice in this matter with him, and that she's stuck with him. Huh? Huh? No, sweetie, no. It's people calling this their favorite love story. No, go to therapy. God, it's so bad. Let me just say, I read a lot of romances, and I've never really read one with, like, a morally gray character, and, like, it's mainly, like, spicy or whatever, but there were also, like, plot twists in this. Like, it was trying to, like, have subplots of, like, crazy shit happening. The subplots to this are, like, they're crazy, like, I for, like, shock factor, but they're so poorly done. Like, obviously we knew, like, what was gonna happen. Like, if you didn't know who murdered Alex's family, you're stupid. And it wasn't even, like, character development wise, nothing changed. You can see, like, Alex changed so much through this. Like, he said he can love her. Bitch, we already knew he loved her. He just didn't want to admit it, okay? Character development, bullshit my ass. Like, huh? No, sweetie. She needed to call the FBI, Congress, something to get this man away from her and go to prison. That's what he needed to do. He needed to go to jail. He didn't need to be with her. He needed to go to jail. That's what needed to happen. There were, like, parts of myself that were enjoying it. Like, there's some banter parts that I did enjoy that kind of kept me going. But, like, overall, I really couldn't find any redeeming qualities about the story. Like, I really couldn't. Like, even the smut felt weird. It felt gross to read about. I don't know. Like, some smut's supposed to be fun to read. It's like, ooh, this is spicy. Like, all the tensions are there. Like, no, it wasn't even good. It wasn't even good. I'm not gonna read any of their ones. I did not enjoy this. It was not good. I'm ranting really hard because this was just so bad. Pure 1 star. So bad. It was a time, and now I'm going to actually end it. So, past me and end the video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed my August reads, and I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.